How can I be self-employed? Well, welcome back. My name is Ted Thomas. I've been involved as an entrepreneur for over 30 years. Now, let me tell you, this is not going to be some low-end deal where we're going to talk about products that you're going to bake cookies in the oven and sell them, or you're going to do pet sitting, or you're going to be cleaning your attic out and selling things, or cleaning the garage out. You're not going to be selling stuff at a roadside stand. We're going to talk about making real money. So the title to this is, how can I be self-employed? So I'm going to show you some steps to do that today, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be just like every other business. You have to work at it, but once you learn it, then you're going to be able to make real money. Now, I'm going to talk about making serious money. I'm not going to talk about renting rooms in your house. I'm not going to talk about selling stuff on eBay. I'm not going to talk about cleaning out the garage. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to talk about the real world. So my name is Ted Thomas. I've been a self-employed person for over 30 years. I run my business from a small office in my home, and I've done it for a long time. I'll be right back. Okay, now in today's episode, we're going to discuss, and I'm going to suggest ways that you can make substantial money, certainly enough to take care of your family and have money left over to not only grow your retirement program, but have enough money to live in the neighborhood, in the house that you really like to live in. So we're going to talk about making real money. Now, this is not talking about pet sitting or running lawnmowers and things like that. I'm going to talk about real money, and I'm going to talk about self-employed people making a six-figure income. So I teach people basically how to make $25,000 and even up to $50,000 on one deal. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to stay involved in real estate because I like that. Now, this episode is for people that want to spend a short time educating themselves. They want to work with other experienced people. You might even want to get a coach to help you do this, but you're going to learn how to generate high income. I'm talking about six-figure income. So today's episode is all about being self-employed. All right, that means you're going to have to learn a lot. So I don't know if you've already got skills. If you don't have, you're going to have to think about that. So if you have a professional degree or you're a craftsman, if you don't have a transferable skill, then you're going to have to get one. But if you do have transferable skills, you're going to find it is a lot easier than you thought it was going to be. Now, I don't know what sort of business that you want to get started in, but I'm going to show you a skill set that once you learn it, you can do it for the rest of your life. This business has been around for 200 years. So I just discovered it 30 years ago, but it's been around for 200 years. So you could ask yourself, do you want to be a self-employed person? Well, just stay tuned here, and I'm going to show you a step-by-step process on how you can do that. All right. Now, entrepreneurs, if they're good, they're problem solvers. Now, what do I mean by a problem solver? If you're going to have a business, you have to solve problems for other people. And when you solve problems for other people, either with a product or with a service, they're willing to pay for that. So you need to think about a problem-solving product. So I'm going to show you a product in the next few minutes. It solves the problem for the county, it solves the problem for me, and it solves the problem for the buyer. Everybody's got a problem solve with the business that I'm about to show you to do. All right, so I don't know what skills you have, but you're not going to just walk in, turn the key, and you're going to get rich. You're going to have to develop the skills. Can you just take training to do that? Yes. Can you get a coach to do that? Can you get other entrepreneurs to do that? Yes, absolutely, you can do that, but you have to get some training to learn how to do it. Is it difficult? No. So the internet is completely filled with a lot of things. By that, financial plans are in there. You can find business plans. You can find page after page. You can get a business plan to be 100 pages. Would that be a good one? I don't know if it's very good, but the ones I've looked at, and I've looked at dozens, I wasn't happy with them because they don't show you what is your revenue source. Your number one thing in a business is what revenue are you going to make? If you can make revenue, your business is going to survive. A lot of people never survive because they don't think about revenue, or they make a product they can't sell. So if you can't sell it, if you can't sell the product or you can't provide a service, then there's only one way to go. You're going to go bankrupt. All right, so you're going to have to get a product or a service that's going to work. So entrepreneurs do that all the time with just by doing a little research. All right, the biggest question always is how are you going to generate money? So I'm going to show you a business in the next few minutes that we're going to buy it low, we're going to sell it low, and we're going to generate a lot of profit. All right, so why will other people pay you? They'll pay you because you can solve a problem. So when you go looking at business plans, or you're looking at YouTube, all right, or you're looking at legal things, you can find all that stuff on YouTube. Your challenge always is it showing you how, number one, to make revenue, or number two, is it showing you how you're going to go about selling it, distributing it, and making money. So the big things that people leave out of business is they can tell you how big the office is going to be, what software they need. They can tell you all that stuff, but they can't tell you how they're going to generate money. They can't tell you how they're going to buy and sell. So if you can't buy and sell and you can't generate revenue, I can tell you that business isn't going to be around for very long. All right, so you're going to have to make enough money to pay for you, for your family, and be able to grow that business. All right, you're going to expect challenges. Well, that's all entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur and you want an entrepreneurial lifestyle, I can assure you it's just one challenge after another. It'll just be constant challenge. It's not going to be like what those people write in the books and they say, oh, listen, I started out and I was poor, now I'm very rich. It was all very easy. It's never easy. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to work at it all the time. If you don't know how to do it, you're going to have to go to class and learn how to do it, or you're going to have to get a coach to help you out. So do you know how to negotiate? Do you know how to buy and sell? What do you know? Do you know how to get an office? All of those are just basic things. What you need to know is what your revenue source is and what you're going to do about buying and selling. If you don't get those two things figured out, you're not going to have a business. I can assure you that right now. All right, well, where are you going to go get your advice? I'm going to tell you, watch all the YouTube videos you want, download all the blogs you want, but if they can't tell you about revenue and they can't tell you about buying and selling, you're probably going to have a real challenge. All right, now some people say, well, I got a professor helping me. Well, I'm a little negative on that. Why? Not because I dislike professors, because they know academics, okay? Other people tell me they got an attorney helping you. Well, attorney's not going to help you a lot. They can tell you about the law. CPA is going to help. Well, what they're going to tell you about numbers. Okay, all of those people have their specialty. What you need to know is how do you make money? How do you buy and sell stuff? If you don't get that, believe me, you can hire all the consultants in the world and you're not going to be doing very well. So what's my point? My point is you need to learn how to make money. You're going to learn how to make money from people that are making money. So find experienced people to help you out. So I'm going to run out of time. And before I do that, I want to make sure that you understand the business that I'm going to tell you about. This is perfect for startup entrepreneurs, especially those people that want to make a six-figure income. All right, so what am I talking about today? This episode is all about how can I be self-employed? Well, I'll tell you, it's easy because across the United States, there's over 3,000 counties that are all selling real estate properties, not traditional real estate, but tax defaulted real estate for 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar. All 3,000 counties are doing that. All right, I didn't make this up. The legislature decided a long time ago, if people didn't pay their tax, they're simply going to confiscate the property. They send the county treasurer there, they confiscate the property, and they put it up for auction. Now, when they put that property up for auction, they're not trying to get list price for it. They just want to get the back taxes. Because if they get the back taxes collected, then they can pay the county bills. So I'll come back to that in a second. So the point is, these are thousands of properties in 3,000 counties across the United States that be selling property. They do that. Every single county will sell those all year long. You can buy those anytime you want. All right, so what's the deal? What's really happening is the government is confiscating property that people aren't paying tax. The government puts it out at a public auction. Okay, they don't try to get retail price. They try to sell it for 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents on the dollar. What do you want to do? You're an entrepreneur. You want to have a business where you can be self-employed. Well, if you can watch a property that was going to sell for 30 cents on the dollar, yet it was worth a lot more than that. So let's say it was assessed at $100,000. Could you sell it at $50,000? If you bought it at 30 and you sold it at 50, you got a margin there. If you got a margin, it's not a huge one, but it's a nice margin. All right, what if you bought one for $30,000 and you sold it for 80? Now you got more margin. All right, the point is you can figure all this stuff out before you ever go to the auction. So you don't have to take a lot of risk. Now you've got a business where you're going to buy 60, 70, 80% discount. Folks, if you can buy a property 70, 80% discount, how many do you want to buy? Now let me add this to the equation. Basically, what the county does, the county treasurer is authorized to wipe out, that is, wipe out the mortgage and the deed of trust. So now you're buying a property 60, 70% discount, and it has no mortgage or deed of trust that you can sell for any price that you want to sell it for. So think about what I just said. So you're going to buy a property at, say, 30 cents on the dollar, and you sell it for 70 or 80 cents on the dollar, you get to keep all that margin in between that. That's the law in the United States. It's happening in every single county. There's going to be over 5,000 tax auctions this year. All right, so let's give the example and slow it all down. Let's say there's an auction taking place in your community, and they have dozens of properties. If it's a large population county that you live in, they might even have 1,000 properties. A small population county will have hundreds. What if they're selling these properties at 20 and 30 cents on the dollar, and you can buy at that price and sell whatever you want? So if you bought at 30 cents and you sold at 70 cents, that whole margin, you get to keep the difference. Would that be a good business? I think it'd be a terrific business. This is where people make anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 every single year. Now, folks, you're not going to be alone at these auctions. There's other people that are savvy that want to buy at the auction, so you won't be the only bidder, but there's going to be dozens of properties. I doubt very much if they could sell all the property. There's so many properties available. There'll be more than 5,000 tax auctions this year, and anybody can attend the auction. Now, we're talking about shiny new property? No. We're talking about used and abused property. Some of it's junk. Now, don't buy the junk. Okay? Some of the properties just needs to be cleaned up, and you can move in or rent or do whatever you want. The point is, there's thousands of properties. Anybody could take advantage of this business. So we're talking about being self-employed. How about if we get in a self-employed business where we could buy just like Walmart does, buy at the rock bottom price and then sell it a little higher than that and make a nice profit? You could be in that business. How would you sell it? Well, you could sell it on Craigslist, doesn't cost anything. Sell it on eBay, doesn't cost much. How about Trulia? How about Zillow? Okay, how about just putting signs on it? The point is, you're allowed to do whatever you want with the property. What a great way to be self-employed and not take a lot of risk. Now, my name is Ted Thomas, and right below me, there's an auction list. If you'd like to see a list of these properties, and maybe you can get one even in your community, it's right below me. I'm Ted Thomas.